Welcome to Homefront Headlines. I'm Amanda Weinstein.
And I'm her husband, Casey Weinstein.
We're going to talk about some headlines here on the Homefront. We have an early Christmas present. What did we get in the mail today?
The Matt Gaetz. You say Gaetz, I say Gaetz.
It's Gaetz.
Report was just released. And, oh God, it just...
Juicy.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
Confirmed everything that we...
What was in it when you unwrapped it? What did you see inside?
Well, for me, it's almost first night of Hanukkah.
Yeah, that's true.
Clear. But really, this is more Christmas because this is pretty big. He regularly paid for sex, according to the report, with prostitutes.
Wait a minute. I thought Republicans didn't like pedophiles. That's what all the Republicans have told me.
Yeah, including with an underage girl. So...
every accusation is a confession.
Yeah, remember that. Every accusation is a confession. And we deal with that in our lives too.
Oh, so much.
The trolls who come after us and accuse us of stuff with spreading complete lies, confessions.
The whole uproar in all of the schools over the books. Any book that dares talk about the fact that gay people exist. And to be clear, gay people exist.
Right.
They just got so up in arms about don't start them on drag queens who they think are pedophiles. And it turns out Matt Gaetz, is he a drag queen? I can't remember.
No, just white Republican dude who...
Just a Republican.
MAGA, king of the MAGAs.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, was just nominated for attorney general. Like Donald Trump wanted this dude to be our attorney general. A dude paying for underage sex with minors. And, allegedly trafficking them,
should be the attorney general. I mean, there's a reason Trump wants someone like that as attorney general. It's not random. He doesn't pull people out of a hat, right? And we all know Trump's associations and his past as well. Of course, he wants someone like Gaetz running the helm, being the attorney general, because he wants to be able to do whatever he wants. They want to be able to do this terrible, terrible stuff,
right? That
they claim they're against, but really they just want to be able to do the bad stuff they're against.
Yeah, and I don't know if the thing is, everybody kind of knew this was an open secret. The report confirmed it. People, suspected this, and they fought so hard not to release it because it was so it wasn't like Trump didn't know.
Does the Speaker of the House admit that this is going on?
Our really good Christian Speaker of the House.
Yeah, he's against pedophiles, right?
Right, but he tried to bury this report.
Of course.
He recommended burying the report. Can we think about that for a second?
The Krampus. Isn't Krampus bad? Is Krampus bad? I don't even actually know. We didn't do
Krampus is not good.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. You're asking the Jewish guy about Christmas stuff.
We didn't do the Krampus thing.
I don't know. Anyway. But the Speaker of the House, one of the most powerful people in America, tried to bury this report, knowing what was in it, and tried to keep it under the radar to support Matt Gaetz to be our attorney general, our most powerful law enforcement or, kind of judicial kind of officer in America.
It's not good. No. But let's talk more about the books in school libraries, because that's going to solve the issue.
They tried to make a guy paying for sex with an underage minor girl. That's QAnon. I just can't. I don't understand it. But to put yourself out there as the values person and try to, to have the votes of so many values voters and to try to make this guy attorney general, what the hell?
No.
And unfortunately what Trump does, what they do is they flood the zone with horrible, horrible people like this.
No.
And some get through, right?
No. Yeah. But for some, I guess they're willing to accept pedophiles and in statutory rape of young girls for abortion, which there are new studies out now is causing women to die and also babies to die. We have now higher maternal mortality rate in those states and higher infant mortality.
Because of abortion restrictions?
Yes.
Because abortion is healthcare, and it is a range of healthcare. And even among our friend group, the number of experiences that friends, our small friend group have had. Yeah.
Now, I don't think we always did. I think talking about pregnancy and miscarriage was a big no-no. Everything's supposed to be fine all the time.
Right.
We talk now. We know.
I feel like there's no such thing as like a standard run-of-the-mill pregnancy and birth.
No.
There's just not. And so many things happen, and
so many things can go wrong. Yeah. But it's all the chaos of look over here so we can put a pedophile in office to help out all the other pedophiles who are in the MAGA party.
This is fine.
It's fine. It's all a bunch of chaos.
Cut to the meme. This is fine.
But the chaos.
Speaking of chaos,
it's going to be more gridlock. Why?
This is our positive message.
I know, this is really the spirit of the season, I think, is gridlock.
We got a taste of it.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Texas Congressional Representative Kay Granger, 81 years old. I believe she was found in her neighborhood lost and confused. So for the last 6 months, where has she been?
She's been in a memory care home, which get her the care she needs.
The care. That's great.
Right.
But over those 6 months, missing some key votes.
Right. Didn't show up at all for 6 months.
Oh, no one knew where she was. Reporters actually had to find where she was because they weren't telling anyone. Right.
Like, get the care you need. Good. We're all about that. But if you can't do your job, right, you should no longer be in Congress. Right. So we talked a couple weeks ago about this 1 to 2 seat majority that Republicans are going to have.
There's one seat right there.
And how incredibly hard it is to govern with that, just basically because so few people, I mean, not so few people, but like, it's so rare when everyone is actually there.
Shit happens.
Right. Like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. You lose your memory and your cognitive capabilities and have to be in an assisted living facility. That really just happens to usual demographics.
Well, yeah.
When you're 81 and still in office.
Right. Well, there's a discussion to be had about age limits and term limits, both of which need to happen.
Yes,
right?
Please. Can we add that to my Christmas list?
Right. Term limits, age limits. Ultimately, there's arguments on both sides of these things, but I don't know, 75? Like once you hit 75, once you hit 70, 75, I don't know, we got
to make retirement great again.
I've shared this, but I want to reiterate in the Ohio House, very rarely are we all there. So these tiny majorities are almost ungovernable. And we saw an example this week of the continuing resolution that they did after Elon Musk tried to blow it up. They needed Democratic support to get that done.
They need us.
Right. So their majority in the next Congress is going to be even more narrow. They will need Democratic votes to move major pieces of legislation.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that folks can't show up. And then secondly, he's got this hardcore right flank that won't vote for anything.
They're gonna actually have to govern. And Representative Granger, do you remember what she was the chair of?
Appropriations.
And what did they do on appropriations?
They do the money. All the
not there 6 months.
Right. Like this is wild stuff, but it is a preview of how hard it will be, of the chaos, right? Yes. And the power that Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats will have, the negotiating power, because let's just assume the speaker can get his people there. If it's Johnson at all as the speaker, then he's got to get them all, every single one of them to vote for his.
I mean, they're going to have to figure out how to govern and how to work with people, which are two of the things that I think they're worst at. So I don't think it's going to go well. But another thing I want to talk about with Representative Granger being gone that I feel goes not talked about is that is 6 months of a very important job of a congressperson, of any representative, which is constituent services.
Yeah.
All right. I know that you work with our Congressperson, Amelia Sykes, to make sure that whatever it is constituents need, and you and she are getting requests all the time of people having issues, where to go, resources. I would love to hear how important constituent services are.
Yeah, it's like one of the least glamorous things, but it's the most important thing. Like it is the most important thing. And that is just making sure that your constituents, that my constituents, get the services that they're entitled to, get the questions answered, and it's a big bureaucracy out there, right? Yeah. There's, and you mentioned Congresswoman Sykes. A lot of people come to me mistakenly thinking I can solve a federal issue people go to her with state issues, it's so great that we work together to connect. Like if someone comes to me and it's like, I need a passport, I need an updated ID, I have a question regarding a federal program or entitlement or Social Security, I can go to her. Vice versa on state issues. But we went through a pandemic while I was in the State House, and there was a massive need and tons of questions from our constituents about.
Even when we had a flood here in Hudson. Right. We had a flood here in Hudson, and many homes were flooded. Families didn't know what to do. And you had many people reaching out to you. You were working with the city to get people connected to what they needed to help out with this flood. Like when stuff like that happens, you have to be there for the people. That is a big part of your job, which meant for 6 months, she was not. So I think you have to pay attention to also who shows up. Let's be clear. Who shows up for the people they're supposed to represent?
I think that's a great point. And like, how do we connect? Like there's this big national story that we've even talked about the gridlock and what happens when people don't show up, or what happens when a member of Congress gets sick or they're old or
all they do is go on Fox News. We have some of those in Ohio too. Jim Jordan. All he really does. Tweet and go on Fox News. I'm guessing not a lot of constituent services going on there.
The implications for us at home makes it tougher to get you the answers and services, entitlements, and solutions that you need. So that's how we connect,
let alone
big
bills.
Government, right? All the many layers of government to people. So like, it's sad when you don't have that representation, and it's not fair and it's not right for voters. So, you know,
we can do better. I think of Mr. Rogers when he said like, look for the helpers, look for who shows up in your representatives. You show up. That's why you get reelected. Amelia Sykes. Congresswoman Sykes, she shows up. She gets reelected. Like, look for who shows up. And talk about it.
Right. So, you know, on a positive note, from a national level, they're gonna struggle to pass their agenda. And Hakeem Jeffries has already, I think, done a great job drawing a line in the sand and saying, we're not gonna, help you deliver chaos. And let's remember, in Trump's first term, he rooted on a shutdown. You remember that? People might have forgotten that. But he's like, yeah, let's shut it down. He started doing that again this time. But he's not even president yet. And Elon and Trump are playing chaos and disruptive. And what happens in a shutdown? Troops don't get paid. Service members don't get paid. Our government workers don't get paid. Like, critical functions start to unravel. And often the most vulnerable among us who need those services the most are the most affected. So get ready and buckle up, because they're going to either have to govern, or we're going to be back in complete chaos.
They're not going to be able to govern. It's going to be complete chaos.
Speaking of chaos, as a Jewish person who is used to presents being spread out over 8 days, Christmas mornings are a little tough for me. And Amanda knows, like, it's all at once, and it's just
a lot.
Because we do both now, and so I'm just preparing myself for the chaos of Christmas.
You'll make
morning.
It through. You'll make it through.
Yeah. She doesn't have a whole lot of sympathy for me, but we're like buried in wrapping paper and presents. It's so much. It's like, used to one present a night.
It was very organized for you.
Right. And it's about to be chaos.
It's going to be chaos. But it'll
be
see
beautiful.
our way through it.
And we wish
the next 4 years also chaos. We will be here for you.
We'll be here. We will be
here.
Yeah. We wish you beautiful chaos and time with your family and relaxation and joy this Christmas, this Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate over the holidays.
Enjoy the Gaetz report, the gift that's going to keep on giving, baby.
God help us all. This has been Homefront Headlines. I'm Casey Weinstein, and this is my wife,
Amanda Weinstein.
Cheers.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.